This Thursday night, Rangers are preparing for one of their toughest challenges in recent memory as they welcome the formidable Athletic Club to Ibrox for the first leg of their Europa League quarter-final clash. Despite being massive underdogs, the Gers are going into the game with an unexpected boost that could make all the difference. We'll get into that shortly, but before we dive into the exciting details, let's catch up on all the latest Rangers. News from the past 24 hours. There's plenty to discuss in this video, so be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and stick with us for all the Rangers content you won't find anywhere else. Now, let's talk about the first major piece of news on Rangers' radar. It's been suggested that the club should go all out to convince Greg Taylor, the Celtic left-back, to cross the Old Firm divide when his contract expires this summer. It's a bold suggestion, and one that could be a game-changer for the club, but it's a move that's bound to generate controversy in the city. Taylor, who has spent the last 6 years at Celtic Park, will be leaving the hoops when his current deal ends. And with Celtic looking to replace him with former player Kieran Tierney from Arsenal, it seems like a prime opportunity for Rangers to step in. Michael Stewart, a former player and current pundit, has been vocal about this idea, even though it's something no Rangers side has managed to do in over a century. He pointed out that Taylor's experience and his place in the Scotland squad make him a valuable asset, especially since he'd be a free transfer. Stewart made his thoughts clear on the Premier Sports Scottish Football Social Club. He said, "I actually floated this idea 2 or 3 weeks ago. From a Rangers perspective, it's a no-brainer. I'm not sure what Greg Taylor would be thinking, but from Rangers' side, it's a free transfer and he's in the Scotland squad, so that makes him a big asset. I don't know if Taylor would be interested, but he's a quality player. For me, he's better than Borna Barisic and he's better than Ridvan Yilmaz, so I'd absolutely do it." It's clear that Stewart sees Taylor as an upgrade on the current options at Rangers, and his comments have sparked plenty of debate. It's worth noting that Rangers aren't the only club with eyes on Taylor. Croatian side Dinamo Zagreb, who failed in a bid to sign him in January, are reportedly still keen on bringing the 27-year-old to their ranks. A number of Major League Soccer teams have also shown interest in Taylor, so if Rangers want to secure his signature, they'll need to act quickly. Switching gears, let's talk about the big Europa League clash ahead. Rangers have received a significant boost going into their matchup against Athletic Club. Unai Simon, Spain's first-choice goalkeeper, will not be playing in the first leg. At Ibrox, this is a huge development for Rangers as Simon is widely regarded as one of the top keepers in Europe, having impressed on the world stage during both the 2022 World Cup and the 2021 European Championship. However, due to Athletic's rotation policy in European competitions, it will be backup goalkeeper Julian Aguirre-Zabala starting in Glasgow instead. Aguirre-Zabala, 24, has played in every European game for Athletic this season, and this includes crucial matches in the Europa League against Roma in the previous round. He's no stranger to big moments, either having been Athletic's hero during their Copa del Rey final last season, where his penalty shootout heroics helped secure the trophy for the club for the first time in 40 years. Rangers will have to find a way to break down Aguirre-Zabala, but with Simon absent, they will certainly feel more confident. On the topic of Athletic Club, Rangers will be facing one of the toughest defenses in European football. Athletic have been incredibly solid at the back this season, conceding just 24 goals in 30 La Liga games. That makes them one of the hardest teams to break down in Europe's top leagues, sharing that honor with Atletico Madrid. Only Atletico have conceded fewer goals than Athletic, with the likes of Napoli, PSG, and Arsenal trailing behind in the defensive rankings. Even more impressively, Athletic have been even more impenetrable at home, having conceded just 9 goals in 15 matches at San Mamés. Their defensive record is the second best in Europe, with only Nottingham Forest coming close in terms of fewest goals conceded. Ahead of the second leg next week, Rangers will have to come up with a game plan to breach this rock-solid defense if they are to take an advantage back to Spain. The task ahead is daunting, no doubt, but it's not impossible. Rangers will be desperate to avoid a 6th consecutive home defeat in Europe, which would be a serious blow to their ambitions in the competition. With a team brimming with quality, Rangers must find the perfect balance between attacking power and defensive solidity if they are to make a real impact in the Europa League this season. The game against Athletic will certainly be one of their toughest tests yet, but it could also be the moment that sparks a run deep into the tournament. Before we move on to the next piece of news, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're bringing you daily Rangers content, keeping you up to date with everything going on at ABERDEEN, from match previews to behind the scenes updates. Don't miss out on any of the latest happenings and join our growing community of Rangers supporters from all over the world. Now, there's another story making waves behind the scenes at Ibrox that could have long-term implications for the future of the club. Rangers supporters have been eagerly awaiting the completion of the long-anticipated takeover by 49ers Enterprises. But recent developments suggest that the process is becoming more of a drawn-out waiting game than anyone anticipated. What was once seen as a fresh start for Rangers is now beginning to feel like a prolonged period of uncertainty and is testing the patience of key figures at the club. The club's on-field form hasn't helped matters either. A shock defeat to Hibernian recently has further dampened the optimism that had built up earlier in the season, and key players like goalkeeper Jack Butland are now facing increased scrutiny. Following some costly mistakes, despite these challenges, Rangers fans have largely remained hopeful, buoyed by the promise of new ownership and fresh investment coming from the 49ers. The arrival of businessman Andrew Kavanagh has been viewed as a glimmer of hope, offering the possibility of a new direction for the club at a time when they desperately need a reset. But with weeks now passing without any substantial updates on the takeover, that optimism is slowly turning into anxiety. There's growing frustration over the lack of communication, and sources close to the situation have suggested that some members of the board are becoming impatient with the drawn-out nature of the deal. Journalists Scott Burns and Keith Jackson addressed these concerns during a segment on the Daily Record's Record Sports Hotline Live. Burns confirmed that while the deal is close to completion, there's certainly a sense of frustration building within Ibrox. I'm told there are maybe some Rangers directors who are getting a bit frustrated at the time taken to complete this deal, Burns revealed. It's not on the brink of collapsing or anything, but yes, there's definitely a feeling of impatience. Jackson expanded on the complexities of the deal, explaining that the structure at Rangers is far more complicated than at other clubs, which is contributing to the delay. You got Dave King, John Bennett, and Barry Scott looking to sell their entire shareholdings, which would increase the 49ers stake to around 25%, Jackson explained. While some online whispers suggest the deal could collapse, Jackson was quick to dismiss these rumors, stating that the deal is still very much alive, just moving more slowly than fans had hoped. As the waiting game continues, the pressure is mounting on all sides to get the deal over the line. Rangers supporters who are desperate for change and investment are starting to lose patience. With on-field performances faltering and the boardroom in limbo, timing is critical. If the 49ers are to win over the Rangers faithful and lead the club into a new era of ambition, clarity, and decisive action, they must act swiftly. As the deal to bring 49ers Enterprises closer to finalizing their takeover drags on, there's no denying the mounting sense of unease surrounding the situation at Ibrox. The anticipation for a fresh start for investment that could revitalize Rangers has been replaced by a feeling of impatience and frustration. The supporters who were once hopeful about what the future held are now starting to question when or if the change will come. The fact that things are taking longer than expected is testing not just the patience of the fans, but also the key figures involved in the deal. Rangers' recent form on the pitch has added to the pressure. A season that started with promise and optimism has been marred by inconsistent performances, with the defeat to Hibernian being particularly damaging. Jack Butland, once seen as a steadying presence in goal, has come under fire for a string of high-profile mistakes that have cost the team points. The team's shaky performances have made it all the more urgent that the club secures new ownership and a clearer vision for the future. Without that stability, it's becoming harder to see where the club is headed in both the short and long term. Even with these on-field struggles, the promise of new ownership has kept hope alive among the Rangers faithful. The prospect of a revitalized club with fresh investment and new ideas is something that many are clinging to. However, the longer the weight drags on the more difficult it becomes to hold on to that optimism. The lack of concrete updates has left many supporters feeling in the dark, and the uncertainty surrounding the deal is making it harder for the club to move forward. The waiting game, while initially exciting, is now becoming a test of patience for everyone involved. The latest reports from journalists Scott Burns and Keith Jackson have only added to the sense of frustration. While they've confirmed that the deal is close to completion, they've also acknowledged the delays and growing impatience among those within the Rangers boardroom. The complexities of the deal are not to be underestimated, and while it's certainly not on the brink of collapse, there's a sense that the longer the deal takes to complete, the harder it will be for the club to maintain its momentum. With each passing week, the pressure on the current board to deliver a resolution is only increasing. This uncertainty is not just affecting the board and the fans, it's also creating tension within the team. The players and staff must be aware of the situation, and the continued instability off the pitch can have a knock-on effect on their performances. The team struggles to maintain consistency in their performances this season may well be a reflection of the wider issues at the club. As Rangers look ahead to their crucial fixtures, including the upcoming Europa League clash against Athletic Club, the pressure to get things right is mounting. The games ahead could make or break their season, and it's imperative that the team is able to focus on the task at hand without being distracted by off-field drama. Despite the ongoing frustration, there is still a sense of belief that the proposed takeover could be a turning point for the club. If the deal goes through, Rangers could see an influx of fresh investment that would allow them to strengthen the squad and build for the future. The involvement of Andrew Kavanagh and the 49ers Enterprises Group promises new ideas and a level of ambition that has been sorely lacking at times in recent years. However, the longer the process drags on, the more difficult it will be for the fans and the club's leadership to maintain that sense of hope. The situation is now becoming more urgent. The clock is ticking and the pressure is growing on both the current board and the prospective new owners to finalize the deal and bring some much needed stability to the club. With every passing day, the sense of frustration among fans is only increasing. The club's leadership must act quickly if they are to meet the expectations of the supporters and secure the future of the club. Ultimately, the fate of Rangers rests in the hands of those negotiating the deal. The proposed takeover could be the catalyst for a new era at ABERDEEN, one that will bring with it fresh investment, better infrastructure, and a renewed sense of ambition. But time is running out, and the stakes have never been higher. If the 49ers are to win over the Rangers faithful and steer the club towards a brighter future, they must move swiftly. The club is in desperate need of clarity and direction, both on and off the pitch, and the longer the takeover process takes, the more fragile the optimism becomes. The countdown is on. The longer the deal drags out, the more pressure will mount on the people at the top to deliver. Rangers' future depends on it, and with the stakes as high as they are, the next few weeks will be crucial in determining the direction of the club. Can the new owners bring the change that everyone is waiting for? Or will the delays leave the club in limbo, struggling to find its way in a competitive environment? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the Rangers faithful will be hoping for a resolution sooner rather than later. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Ibrox could soon be welcoming one of the most electrifying young talents in the Scottish Premiership, as Rangers have set their sights on Aberdeen's Finnish winger, Topi Keskinen. The 22-year-old has been turning heads across the league with his blistering pace, razor-sharp dribbling, and a knack for delivering in clutch moments, and now the Light Blues are reportedly ready to make a move. Could this rising star be the next fan favourite to light up Govan Keskinen's journey? From the quiet town of Mikkeli to the Scottish top flight is nothing short of remarkable. After making a name for himself at Finnish giants HJK Helsinki, where he not only won the league but also picked up multiple individual honours, the winger took a bold step by joining Aberdeen in August 2024. Since then, he's dazzled. Fans with game-winning goals, assists, and match-winning performances that have quickly made him one of the Premiership's hottest properties. Rangers' interest comes as no surprise. With the club looking to inject pace and unpredictability into their attacking options, Keskinen's profile fits the bill perfectly. Scouts have reportedly been tracking the winger since his explosive start to the 2024 season in Finland, where he racked up 4 goals and an assist in just 4 matches. His immediate impact at Aberdeen, including that unforgettable stoppage time debut winner against Queen's Park, has only reinforced the sense that he's destined for a bigger stage. While Aberdeen are unlikely to let him go without a fight, Rangers' European ambitions and the lure of playing in front of 50,000 at Ibrox could prove decisive. HJK's smart inclusion of a sell-on clause means the Finnish champions would benefit from any future deal. And with Keskinen's stock rising rapidly, a summer move may be too tempting for all parties to ignore. For Rangers fans, the potential arrival of Keskinen is a tantalizing prospect. A glimpse at a dynamic future built around fearless attacking football. And if his current trajectory continues, it might not be long before the name Topi Keskinen echoes through the stands of Ibrox, not as a rival threat, but as a hero in blue. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.